Here's your host, Clay Nelson.
Hey, hi, this is Clay and Susan Nelson on Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour. And today's show is all about complaining or creating. Now, I know I've spoken on this topic a couple of times before in the last 2 years, but today's show is kind of special. Susan and I went down to the Special Olympics in Long Beach on Saturday, and they had the Special Olympics Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we learned and what we got out of that experience. And actually, what I got out of it was how I'm sitting around wanking, and I don't have anything to really wank about. And that most
you do it so well.
I do, don't I?
Yes, you do.
I am a professional wanker, yes. Anyway, and that a lot of the problems I think I have, or I believe I have, are nothing compared to somebody else's problems. And today's show is all about how to get off your tokus and get out of your head, stop complaining, and start creating the life that you can have. Also, how to make this gas crisis hoo-ha conversation benefit you instead of stop you, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So this show is going to be pretty phenomenal. Okay, now. If you're, it's a call-in talk show, so I want you to call in locally at 564-1290, 564-1290, or long distance, you can call in 866-564-1290, or you can do like most people do, you can email me at clay@mediasb.com. That's clay@mediasb.com. And today we're live streaming, so you go, let me see, Diego, to have this right, you can go to www.claynelson.com/watch, WATCH. And then you can see us live on the air right here, and you can send us, do they have to sign in to send email? Or can, okay, so then you sign in, which is the simple, give them your username and your password. If you haven't done that yet, just go ahead and do it real quick. And then you can send us email. We can yak back and forth right on the program, right on the web. So we can get questions from you that way. All right. Now, today's show. I got to tell you, just between me and you and the lamppost, I'm getting tired of how much complaining is going on the planet. Everybody's doing something wrong. Nobody's doing anything right. The government's not right. Gas prices aren't the best. Jobs aren't the best. Kids are out of school. We don't know what to do. My dog is sick, and
the cat's sick. We have
our cat is sick, and.
And we have a workshop this weekend. A lot of people are coming in.
Yeah, we got a workshop this week, personal planning workshop.
We got to get the house ready. We got to get the
God, I'm more depressed than I thought I was. Man, you give me more stuff than I thought I knew about. Okay, so it's all about really doing the dance of life. It's all about getting really straight around what's really important. Now, let me give you an idea I had coming back on my Harley. By the way, we went down to Long Beach on Saturday on my Harley at about 6 o'clock in the morning, rode through the fog and had our leathers on. It was drop dead gorgeous. A little foggy, but it was really neat to be out in the weather and just Susan on the Harley, okay?
It was beautiful.
It was cool. And then when we got down there, wow, it just, the amazing things started happening right off the bat. We'll talk about that later in the next segment. But it's all about getting straight around just, quite frankly, what I've made up. Now, think about this. Gas prices are high, okay? You don't want to drive your cars. Tomatoes have some sort of disease in them, so you can't eat tomatoes. Food prices are getting really outrageous, so you can't buy a lot of food. So I thought about something. Gee, what did farmers do back before we had technology? Let me see now. They worked on a farm. They had dinner as a family. They grew their own food. And they had a real strong spiritual side. And guess what? They actually talked to each other. So because I'm so incredibly intelligent, I went, well, heck, if we can't drive, or if we do drive, it costs too much, and we don't really want to drive as much, all right, why don't we start planting a garden? What do you think? And then Susan looks at me and goes, just what she's doing, laughing. Okay, but the truth.
When would you like to have that done by?
About Monday. But the point is, wouldn't it be cool even if you had a little box of dirt, just outside the front door? You plant tomato plant in there.
You could grow your own tomatoes, or
you could zucchini.
Oh yeah.
Or how about pumpkins? Or watermelon? You could have squash. Just make sure you don't trip out or going out the door. It'd be bad. Yeah, especially if you have 2 or 3 steps to get down to the sidewalk.
That's right.
Could get ugly. Anyway, unless you slid on the watermelon. Now, there's an optimistic possibility.
Yes.
Yeah. Beth, are you laughing? Okay, now, so it's all about getting a sense of humor about life and being able to, get yourself back into the earth, slow the parade down. We're going so doggone fast. And everybody's expecting us to go faster, learn more, give away more, be more outrageous and everything else. We don't even know who we are anymore. We don't even know who our kids are. You sit in church because it's the popular thing to do. All right? You leave church, get in a fight in the parking lot. Isn't that great? Yes, sir. Can't wait. So what would it be like to absolutely have a say in how your life turns out and then go live it? You got something you want to read?
Well, Albert Einstein and John Kennedy said some really great things. So
Yeah.
I'd like to read something from John Kennedy. So the problems of the world cannot possibly be solved by skeptics or cynics whose horizons are limited by the obvious realities. We need men, and I'm going to add women, we need men who can dream of things that never were.
Yeah.
And then right after that, Albert Einstein.
Yeah, but
says,
get that one. Get one. You need to be able to dream of things that never were. Or how about that? See things that you haven't seen that way before.
They could be.
Wasn't that profound?
That was very
pretty profound.
That was very
Anyway, yeah.
good.
Anyway, go
Very
ahead.
good. Albert Einstein. The significant problems we face cannot be solved at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them.
Yeah, like, can you imagine how far out there he had to get to be happy with his hair? I mean, get real. You know what I mean? Okay, so now, it's like, a couple things I've learned in my life. I'm 64 years old, and I've been on this planet 64 years. And, every time I have what I think is a bad situation in my life or sometime on the phone or whatever, what I'm starting to realize, and what I realized this weekend, honey, after going to that Special Olympics, is that someone somewhere out there has it worse than I do. And all I have to do is think of that. And, gee, it just lightens me up. I don't care whether it's a problem I'm having with the kids or us, or work, or the contractor that's working on our house, or whatever. Anybody, everywhere, can always have, more going on than I do. So, it's like, yep, gas prices do stink. Yep, my 64-year-old body, even though I hate to admit this, does have a few aches and pangs and creaks around. And my teenage son is teenager. Boy, can you imagine, CJ drinks that, what's that energy drink?
Red Bull.
Red Bull. Can you imagine a 17-year-old teenager on Red Bull? I mean, my God, you don't need a lawnmower. You just cut them loose on the lawn. All right, and, it used to be fun to travel on an airplane, but now it's not. I mean, that's definitely gone. And, it's like I know how to really gripe and moan and sulk and pout and better than anyone I've ever known, and, that's the way it is. But lucky for me, I'll get a telephone call from somebody that's got a problem worse off than what I've got, or I'll see a story in the news that most news is always worse off than where I am. That's what newspapers and news do. Or I find that one of my friends is going through something that's a lot rougher than what I'm going through. And thank goodness I'm out in the world enough so where I get the experience that shows me that I need to stop pouting because most everybody else around me has it worse than I do. Like, for instance, right now I have to go on a break. I don't want to go on a break, but I have to go on a break.
Well, we won't complain about it.
No, but we won't complain about it. Okay, so when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about the Special Olympics in Long Beach and what we learned. So you're listening to the Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour with the illustrious Susan Nelson, which I got another story about. Oh, that's a good story. When you get back, I want to talk about her. Whoa. So get on back here. You're listening to KZSB AM 1290. Come on back.